Alright, welcome back, Lenz Comic Corner Classics as known classic. This is episode number 1392 and Doubleshot number 1285. I had two more trades by Ed Brubaker, well, Captain America. First up it is Captain America, the man with no face. Yep. Now, chronologically speaking, because they mentioned this basically during the course of the early part of the story, the present-day stuff for the story takes place after the events of Secret Invasion. Which people are like, really? It does? Yeah, because they actually reference in the first part of the storyline the events of the finale for the storyline. So, yeah, this is like not long after. Because basically, even the regular... Because they mentioned that not only the regular civilians have basically recognized him as Captain America, but the superheroes have too, which kudos. Though the thing starts off not there per se. It starts off in World War II. Yes, but Brubaker has got this thing where he loves doing flashbacks. Especially in this arc, there's a lot of flashbacks between World War II and the 60s. Moss deals with the villain of the story. Now, just basically, Bucky, when he was Bucky, Cap, the Human Torch, basically most people who were part of the Invaders back in the early 40s. And then we got the present day where you see Bucky look out a window, and then we see, a naked woman pop coming out of his bedroom. Who is that? The Black Widow. Yep, at this point, Black Widow and the Winter Soldier, well, Bucky Barnes anyways, have officially started a sexual relationship. And it's very heavily implied that these two had sex the night before. Why? Because she's completely naked, and she's covered only by a bedsheet. He is only wearing a pair of sweatpants. Yep. So, and also thanks to the storyline, not only that they started a relationship between James McCann Barnes and Black Widow, we all start their partnership that basically starts here, even continues in Winter Soldier's first solo title. Under Brubaker, well, most of it anyways. He did get a second one, but no one really talked about that one for some reason. So, basically, the flashbacks here are stuff basically with Winter Soldier back in the 60s. Excuse me. I should point out that this book itself, the interior artwork for these issues these are Captain America Volume 5, issues 43 to 48. It's a 6-part story arc, and Mike Perkins has got nothing to do with the interior artwork. I don't think he does the covers. No, he doesn't. And that's a bit of a surprise, the fact he doesn't do the covers for this thing. Nope, it's all Steve Epting. He does all the covers for this one. Now, mostly put for 43 to 45, it's Luke Ross. 46 is Steve Epting, though he also does issue 47, 48 with Luke Ross as well. And Booch Goose. Yep. And mostly put this guy who apparently was such far back in the 60s, he's still around, and of course tries to fight him. He doesn't have a reputation want to fight him per se, but it's a very good self-contained 6-parter. Doesn't really affect much anything at all. Not really, no. It just simply put Bucky's first official story arc after the Captain America stuff. That's really the best way to get just this before we get to the more interesting stuff, Road to Rebirth. Yeah, for a story arc itself, it's actually pretty good. I love also the cover art here as well, with frequent mentions of basically exploring his back history as a Winter Soldier, because we'll focus on him now. Alright, next up. Oh yeah, by the way, I get that one from 9 This one is going to be quite interesting. This one's Captain America, Road to Rebirth. This contains the last 2 issues of Captain America Volume 5, issues 49 and 50, and 600 to 601. Now, final factoid about 600 for Captain America. This was released the same month as Thor 700. Well, actually, it was Thor 600, actually. Yeah, it was released at the same period of time. And this is, of course, during the events of Dark Reign. Yeah, this is going on while I was reading comics. And Road Rebirth, it's simple. Now, technically, in the way, it takes the last 2 issues of Captain America Volume 5 and 600. 601 is just a series of stories of Captain America World War II, which is an excellent issue. I love it. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious, though, yes, that is actually Alex Ross's cover artwork. Yep. So you probably would think that his most recent work, he did Captain America, you think That's what the cover arc? No, this is actually based upon a variant cover for Captain America 600. And yes, Brubaker does write everything in here. You have several stories. You have Sentinel Liberty, which I think is a backup story, basically a Sentinel story itself. The arc for that one was by Marcos Martin. Of course, Brubaker writes everything in here. 600, he co-writes with Roger Stern, Mark Waid, and Paul Dini. Interesting. I mean, Roger Stern, Mark Waid, interesting. The fact that these two would actually write the book. Roger Stern, I believe, wrote the character back in the 70s. Mark Waid was basically the writer of the 1990s version of the character. Well, basically the run anyways. Paul Dini, on the other hand, I'm not really sure what his history with Captain America is. It's kind of weird. Now, Luke Ross himself does do the interior work for 4950, but 600, oh boy. There's a good number of artists. You have Booch Gooch, Howard Shakin, Raphael Albuquerque, David Aja, Mitch Bretzer, Alex Ross is over PS1 too, Dale Englisham, Calvin Albuquerque, Pass the Torch. The artwork is done, and the story is done by Fred Hammerk. 601 is done by Gene Colan. Yes, Gene Colan. You were thinking, really? Gene Colan, didn't he pass away? Yes, he did. Let me look up and see exactly when he passed away. He passed away in 2011. So, yeah, this probably was done just before he passed away. Though I think this is probably his last official work he worked on just before he passed. Yeah, because it was released in 2009. September 2000, well, basically 2000. He died in 2011. He passed away 10 years ago, surprisingly. Yeah, I think this may have been his last official comic book he worked on for Marvel Comics. Yeah, I think it was. Yep, it was actually his last official comic book that he ever worked on for Marvel. Overall, I think this may have been his last official comic he ever did. Yep. Now, 4950, of course, Road to Rebirth through 600. It's simply put, now, they mentioned during, I think it was during the previous issues, that during the Mammoth phase, there's a subplot here with Sharon Carter, where they mentioned that it's actually been like 9 months since the death of Steve Rogers. And, of course, it has been 6 months since she basically was free from Dr. Faustus' control. And at one point, we changed her clothes, and she noticed that there's a scar under her belly. And she had never seen the scar before. So she contacts basically the Falcon about this. Yeah, she was informed she was pregnant, and she miscarried. Which made her upset. And basically, in the way, throughout 4950, basically you have her just searching for the guy who she got the gun from that shot Captain America. And then she finds it. And find out, nope, Cap's not dead. Nope, he's not. Basically, you have various Avengers. Now, I should point out, at the time these issues came out, Dark Reign was in full swing. And I guess that, well, Sharon Carter had enough of the bullcrap Norman Oswald put up to. It's like, okay, guys, we're going to bring back Captain America so he could probably, so, now I'm just paraphrasing, I'm sure she probably want to say this. Let's bring back Cap so he can basically beat the crap out of Norman Osborn. That's the big gist of it. And basically plant seeds to set up that particular return, which happened in Captain America Reborn. Which I can't wait to review that particular story because it's really, really good. Yes. And all the stuff in here is just really good. I love it. Sentinel Liberty is just a one-shot, basically, where it's Marcus Martin doing the entire work. Yeah, it's just basically like, it's basically a abridged retelling of Cap's history over the course of the past, 60 years. Yeah. From the moment of his creation up until present day. Yep. Now, the one thing I thought was quite interesting, though, is they threw in this story from, I think it was in 601, where I believe it's an old, from what I can tell, it's an old Golden Age, it's an old Golden Age story from the 60s. Well, let Let's see. So this particular story, Red Skull's Revenge, just comes from Captain America comic number 16, and yeah, it's a reprint. I'm a little surprised they threw this particular comic in here. Yeah, if you're curious though, yes, that's like Captain America was drawn back in the 40s, and you're probably thinking, man, he's got a big chin, but that's what he was drawn back then. It's a good classic Captain America story in the 40s. Mainly the big gist this one is when Red Skull found out that Steve Rogers was Captain America. Yep. But yeah, the story in here is really good. I'm going to give Road Rebirth a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. Yep. Great setup for the events of the miniseries Rebirth. And here's a little fun little factor you might not know. After 601, basically what Marvel Comics did was quite interesting. They put the Captain America title, the main book, on hiatus for 6 months just so this miniseries come out. Yep. And that miniseries leads directly into Siege. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to talk about when I get a chance to hands on it. Yep, so yeah, that's the particular review. My next review is going to be review for, well, 2 more DC. It's going to be basically 2 DC trades. Yep. One is basically the first of a trade series. The other one, of course, is the second of a trade series. Okay, to the next video. Bye.